Good morning, traders. It's May 18th, Tuesday. It's 6:53. Markets just opened, and we are looking at a stock market today. We're gonna go over quite a few stocks, so let's get started. Quick disclaimer that this is just how I see the markets. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any securities. First of all, let's start with the Air Canada. We are looking at the picture on the weekly chart and take a look at this beauty that what happened since last couple of weeks. Okay, we had this beautiful pin bar. When it was broken, we were in the trade. If you were taking a trade on the weekly chart, that was a beautiful signal because it was rejecting this area here at $24, and you can see it clearly where the market stalled before. So that's what was being rejected, and then the markets took off. From there, not too far, started kind of going sideways here, retested it once again here, and then right after that retest, we had just an explosion to the upside. And guess what happened here? Well, we were stuck basically in this little wedge, and I'm going to show you clearly on a daily chart how that looks like. Okay. But this is how it looks like on a weekly chart, and after that breakout on a Friday, the market closed as another pin bar and as another continuation of this bullish move, and this was the high here, and you can see that this candle actually made a new high. So this is definitely confirmation of the markets going bullish, plus closing on the positive side of the trend line here. It's now in the buy zone once again. So this was a kind of a troubling area a little bit, and market just stalled. But take a look why, because we stopped here when we were coming down. Right, we made a low here, so the market obviously is going to stop a little bit here. And I said on Friday, if you were watching the video, that on Monday I'm expecting, after this candle is developed, the inside candle, and we'll see that on a daily chart. So take a look at the daily chart right there. Okay, so we had this beautiful wedge. I'm just gonna squeeze the picture there a little bit. You can see how the market actually reacted. So as we were coming down with these beautiful waves, we had this little beautiful fake out right inside this box. We had this beautiful fake out right inside this box, and the market just took off out, and then we just had these kind of little moves. And if you did not take the trade on that pin bar, this is beautiful signal here, rejecting it again. As I said, we saw it on a weekly chart. That little doji bar was actually this. It was this beautiful engulfing bar that took off off the $24 again, once again, and then we had this a little bit sideways movement where we connected basically these tops. You see, as the market is doing this kind of a squeeze, right? We are making these highs, and we are making these higher lows, right? And what do we do? Like basically, I'm just going to move this here. So this is the low. This is the higher low. What you do basically, you take a trend line from here, right, and just connect these two lows, and there you go. You have that. Okay. If you're looking from the top, we had this high right there. Okay. Let me just enlarge it again. We had a high, and then we had a lower high, and then we had a lower high, and then when we connect them, when you connect these, you can see what you get. This is basically called the wedge, right? So after the question would be, when do you connect these? Well, when you have two, you have to have 2 points of contact basically before you would actually do that. So after this second one, you would do that basically. In the beginning, when it started, we could have had a picture like this, right? Because we connect this one, and this is a high low. But when the market dropped, then you move this one here, right? And then you have a wedge. And then this is even more obvious area. Like, I mean, this was not really obvious area for the market to bounce. So there was no even point for me to show you this. But here there was a point, because we had a beautiful support at this $24. And look at the result. As I was saying on a weekly chart, so after this beautiful breakout, which market always does. We are now in a buy zone. We are above the trend line. We are not below the trend line anymore. I said on Friday that I was expecting for the market to make an inside bar, and here we go. This is your inside bar here. This is a confirmation of the retest of this level here. And the market today opened at 25.60, somewhere there. And if you were not in a trade before, once the top of this candle is broken with this candle or the next one, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, you have this perfect signal that the continuation of the bulls. Yesterday, the bears were trying to push it. There's no more power in bears. Bulls took over fully. And now we are slowly moving towards our goal, which is at $28 right there. Okay, so this is the stalling area, right? This was the stalling area. This is $26, and we can see that the market actually came to the top here. You can see here and exactly stopped right there, and then we had a little pullback, but that's just normal. So this is how you basically analyze the markets, and you can predict what the market is going to do after a certain move. Now you know how these things works. And in my next video, I will be talking about how to become really successful as far as finding these trades and managing the trades. This is the most important thing about markets. Looking forward for Air Canada to move closer to $28. Moving on to Royal Bank of Canada, and we can see here on the weekly chart how it was. I'm just squeezing the chart here, and you can see these peaks here, and you can see that this 108, 109, 109.37 area was actually the most important for the area for the market to break out. And after we did, we just move on and we took off. However, having said that, like you would say, like, okay, but that's all fine, but how do I find the trades now? Like, it's above here, and it's not pulling back. Well, this is how you do it. Okay, so this is a weekly chart. We are looking at this was a peak. This was a nice peak right here. This was actually a fake out after this consolidation over here, and then market took off. And after breaking this 118.89, we had a nice continuation in the bullish move. Let's move to the daily chart, and I'll show you why or how you can take the trade. So basically, once the market moves out, it comes back again and again and again. It tests these areas, right? So this is what happened here, right? So this was that peak, this was that fake out. We had this consolidation. You can see it here. That is clear that this was a consolidation. Look how many days the market was going sideways. We had a high, we had a high, we had a high rejection, and then we had this boom, boom, and then the market just came back. So this is the fake out. This part here is a fake out. What it does basically, it sucks the traders in, and you start going long, and then suddenly starts going against you, and then people start freaking out, and as soon as they start losing their stops, the market just takes off. And this is how, as they call it, the pigs get slaughtered. This is how people lose money. So you have to be really careful with these kind of situations. Consolidations can be really tricky to trade. I would rather have a nice breakout instead of breakouts out of the consolidation. But hey, never. That's just the game we are playing. So we're going to continue on with that. Moving on. So now we had this huge peak here that was a fake out, and this is our last point of contact that we can see, that we can kind of rely on from the past. This is a past for us now, right? So we are looking at the market, let's say at this point, market took off over there very nicely and strong. You can see 1 and 2 candles bounced off of there, right? And then we came back, and look, market bounces here. Market bounces here again. It comes exactly to the point here, and then it just takes off. If I would probably go on a lower time frame, we would have a nice entry at this level here. But let's say if you didn't have that, I'm going to show you the trick what to do. So we came up, and this is the high, right? My market came up and made a new high. So what we do basically, we just mark that high. Okay, take a horizontal line and just mark the high like that. Okay, this is how you refine the entries. Okay, so this is the peak I was showing you on a daily chart. Even the weekly chart is showing the same exact peak right there. Okay, so 121.36 area. All right, we come here and market goes up, and then kind of goes sideways, right? And then we have this beautiful engulfing bar that it takes off, right? You didn't take that trade, okay? You didn't take that trade. You were not able to catch this move. That is totally fine, okay? This is, but you know that this area is very interesting for us. And my market takes off a little bit, and you're like, okay, you know, what do I do now? Well, you wait. You wait. And what do? This is our area of interest. This is the only area of interest that we're looking at. Only area of interest. Nothing else. You don't take the trade from the middle of anywhere, right? And what the market does? Well, it comes down, it retests this area, and surprise, surprise, okay, we get this beautiful pin bar right there, rejecting this 121.36. Your entry is here at 121 something, and you are in the trade from there on. That's just how it works. So this is how you refine the entry. So you got the nicer entry, you have a lesser stop. So your entry is right here. Your stop goes below this line here, so you're risking maybe $1 on the trade instead of these huge candles, you know, where you're risking like $2-3, right, in order to make a certain profit, whatever it is, right? But we found a beautiful entry here right on 1 hour on the Royal Bank, and this is how you continue on, okay? Again, you're not reacting on any of the candles unless you get that signal closed. You can see here this candle is still alive, even though it's an engulfing candle at the moment. It has 8 minutes to close, and it can close either way. It can be any kind of weird shape, okay? So this doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, bulls are definitely in control. We can see the market is in an uptrend, but you do not. So if we pull the line here, this is the high, right? If we pull the line here like this, we can see the clear rejection of this level here, okay? But I do not react on this candle until the candle is closed. So that's 7 minutes and 40 seconds after this, okay? And then I can take a trade again moving forward. And that's how the market works. And this is how you take trades. Moving on to TD Bank, I'm not going to bother you too much with those things, okay? So basically, after this beautiful breakout here on the daily chart, we had this spin bar and the market moves on. Again, the same thing as on a Royal Bank. We get this, and this is the high here, and we mark it, and we go forward, and we have a high right there, and we move forward, okay? You can also put the trend line if you feel comfortable with the trend lines, so you can do that too, okay? So we connect the lowest point here to the highest, so we connect these higher. So low, higher low, higher low. This one here is more important than this one because this one connects to the highest point here, which is this high here, and the market took off from there. From this point here, as far as the trend lines goes, right? So now we have 1, 2, 3 points of interest, and they all match at the same point, right? So if you want to put another trend line, markets have trends inside the trend. So this is a long-term trend. We can take a look. This is a long-term trend. Trend is to the upside. This is a short-term trend, and this goes like this. Okay, and why like that? Why like that? Okay, so from this point, this is a high. This is a low. Pardon me, low. This is a higher low. This connects to the higher point, right? So these two connect. You only need 2 points. And the market is actually very nicely respecting it. Look at that. So it bounced off here, and then bounced here, and bounced here, and then we move on. So what market does basically, in a sense, if you're going to use the trend lines for trades, okay, is it does this. It goes like this, and then it comes down and retests. And this is your buy-in point if you're going to use the trend line. Same exact point as you would do this on these support and resistance areas, horizontal ones instead of trend lines, right? And if you get these kind of situations where you have this crossover of the support level horizontally and the trend line, you have another 2 reasons to get that trade. So you have the trend, you have support and resistance horizontally, you have support resistance with the trend line, and then you get the signal. That's a signal that you can't get better than that. Like this is like that's 4 points. If we are usually looking for 3, we need support and resistance, we need trend and the signal. But if you have 4 points, I mean, that's even better. Okay, so the market moves on, and what it does, it comes back down again and retests this trend line. Okay, so we now have this nice trend line going on because we have these 2 points to connect. So what the market does, what we are expecting it to do, is to do this, right? To come down here somewhere to retest. Basically, what it does, what people do is market makes the move. People take the profit. Profit is from here to here or here, right? Regardless. So this will be the profit. And then we receive another signal, and then the market moves on. Okay, and comes down, people take profits, and then we move on from there. This is how the market climbs. Okay, if this short-term trend line, this is a short-term trend line, gets broken and the market does not bounce from there, then all you have to do is expect, same as with these horizontal lines, okay, for the market to come down to the next trend line, which is right here. And this would be way better option because let's say at this point you have the horizontal and you have the trend line, and this is a long-term trend line with the market is following this trend. So if we get a signal somewhere in this area, you can with some certainty buy into this market again and expect for the market to do this and then this and then this and then this and this and that's so on. So that's basically what it does. Right now we are in a bullish move with the Dominion Bank, Toronto Dominion, and we don't have the trade at the moment. So the market just moved on. We missed the trade here. If you missed it here, it was probably a nice buy-in here at 85.54 area. Somewhere on a lower time frame, as I showed you on the Royal Bank of Nova Scotia. And what do we have here? Well, this is a daily chart. We have this high. We have this high, but this is the highest high here, so that's what we are looking at right now. Let me just squeeze the chart to see if there's anything there that I should be aware of. Yeah, I can see that peaks right here and here. Okay, so that corresponds exactly with this area here. So this is how we do it. This is on the daily chart. So there's one here. I can see it here, and I can see it right there. So I just wanted to see if there's anything. So basically for us to measure this market, how far can it go? It will be 82.66 area. That's first around there. So around there, that will be our first target, and then the second target would be this high here, which is 85.19. And there we go. Now we have targets. And what's interesting here, we are getting this bullseye area, right? So now we can enlarge this picture and take a look what's going on, and let's see what we see here. Okay, so at one point market came to this point, and this was a high. Okay, market then just made a little higher high, so we're going to rely on this one here first. All right, this one is relevant, but this one is more relevant. Okay, then the next time the market just came down slowly, and then it was climbing, makes the same point here, same as this one. It may be like shy a few cents here and there, nothing major there. We also had this nice consolidation, so you can see that was like a little fake out of this consolidation, also touched that line right now. So what we are interested in is this point now. Take a look, guys. The market just peaked through that area, and that's so important. Okay, so 80.06 is becoming a very interesting area for us. We have to see if the market is actually going to break out of this area. And now you can start paying attention on the lower time frame for the entry into this market. Okay, on 1 hour chart, let's say. Let's take a look what happens there. Okay, so take a look. This was the attempted breakout here. This was the attempted breakout here, and it was unsuccessful. Okay, at the moment it was unsuccessful. All right, we had the close on the other side. However, look at this. The next candle right away. The next candle right away is going underneath this 80-17 line, which is bearish, so which means that the market is rejecting breakout here. Okay, so even though the market closed the price above, we don't have a trade yet. Okay, so what can happen here? All right, this is just a theory. It's not necessarily that's what's going to happen, but this is what I'm looking at from this point on. Let's say this candle here is still valid. Let's say, okay, and it could be still valid because this one has 43 minutes to finish. Even though this candle here, all right, is doing what it's doing right now and looks like very, very bearish, all right, this candle here can finish actually like this after this 1 hour. Okay, it can finish like that. It can go down like this, even further like that. And after 42 minutes, it can finish off like this. So this candle can close like this and looks like a pin bar, right? If that happens that way, then we have a trade. We have a trend. We have a resistance. We have a breakout with the close on the other side. Okay, all we are waiting for now is for this to confirm that this could be like this, like a signal on the other side. So we have to wait for this candle to close. If this candle closes the way it is right now, then this is a scratch trade. Okay, if the bears are still strong at this area, then it's a completely scratch trade. If the candle closes like this, then it's a completely different story. We have then an entry signal, and then once the top of the candle is broken, we have the trade, and we already marked our target at $82.66, right? So that will be $2 on the Bank of Nova Scotia, and that's what I see at the moment. Bank of Montreal, same exact picture as on most of the banks. We have a nice bullish moves. The recent area that we can mark here. What I would do, I would mark basically here. This would be the area for us to look for a bounce again. We broke out of that area, so you can see here with this beautiful engulfing candle. Your entry, if you missed it, it was 119.66. Take a look, and the market just took off. It was a beautiful engulfing bar. So we had this. So after this tweezer bottom, as I showed you last time in the last video, market did this. Okay, so same old stepping stones, right? Stepping stones. So we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this, okay? And we do breakout. So we had a high, This was the high that we were interested because we always look for the highest high. We also have the trend, okay, which is to the upside. And then we have this beautiful engulfing candle here that engulfs 1, 2, 3, 4 candles there. I think even part of it, so 4 candles, let's say 4 candles. That's a strong, strong bullish candle. And once the top of this candle is broken, and it's also above this line here, so this resistance is broken, and you have a beautiful 1, 2, 3 days of trading. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday. So there you go. We are looking at still moving into positive with Bank of Montreal. This is definitely a bullish move and continuation of it. Suncor Energy, interesting one. We had a fake out right here, okay? This is a fake out right here, and this was marked because of this peak. So this peak and this peak, they match. Let me just refine this a little bit. So the top of that one, perfect, there we go. Now we can see that market came to that point. This candle closed right on that line here, was not able to break out. So that's the situation as I was explaining there on the Bank of Nova Scotia, what it was doing when it's the breakout is happening there. So this is exactly the point. Market closed a little bit shy above on the other side, and then the next candle right away closes below, and that's a right away scratch trade. Market came down, and now we are sitting at this 29.32 area with the spin bar right there here. So unless we have a breakout today, which I doubt, but you know, possibility exists. We do have a trend; it's to the upside, and we have the resistance. We need a breakout with a signal to move on. So Suncor Energy at the moment, we are at the bullseye area, and just wait to see what happens if there's any breakout or not. National Bank of Canada, but take a look. This was the highest peak, and after that peak was broken, we just move on. Look at the strength of these bulls. Look at these candles. They're huge, how they're moving, and their weekly chart. Okay, beautiful, beautiful signals. Okay, so we have the top. All right, and top was marked right there on the weekly chart. And let's move on now to the daily. Okay. And what do we have here? Well, the market came to 89, pardon me, 89.15, came down. This is what we do. We wait, and the market breaks out. And then, boom, what happens right there? We have a breakout. We have a close on the other side. And look at this beautiful signal. Look at this signal to get into trade again. You guys see this? Like, I mean, this is so friggin' obvious that I can't even explain it anymore, right? So this was the resistance, the close on the other side, rejection of the level. So this beautiful cross here, this beautiful pin bar just rejected this level, and once the top of the candle is broken, the market just moves on. We know that we are in a bullish move. We know that we have resistance, and we're just waiting for the signal. And look at that. Okay, signal develops, and we just move on. This is another level we have to look at, and it's right there. And the candle just breaks out here. We had a breakout nicely with this candle here. Probably on a lower time frame, we had a nice entry into this market again. So we are still looking at bullish continuation on National Bank of Canada. You can easily predict markets, you know, once you learn how they work, and take a look at the evidence of that. I spoke to you on Friday when this candle was developing and closed. I told you on Monday that I'm expecting for this market to do the inside bar, and that's exactly what happened. We had an inside bar, we had a rejection of this level, and look at the bulls taking off. Guys, if you don't believe anything I said, that's totally fine. Maybe you heard a lot of people talking about this and that, but I'm just giving you straight facts, no bullshit. Just tell you the way it is, and I show you exactly on the charts how it works. Once again, thank you for watching the video. This is a bit lengthy one. This is Sasha here on the May 18th. Market just opened, and we looked at quite a few stocks up until Friday. Have a safe trading, and enjoy the video. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the videos, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.